a white person has at least one parent who is white American with at least one parent who is white American, they share ancestry with at least or approximately a million other white Americans, alive and deceased. Let's break this down. Every person has 2 parents, 4 grandparents, and 8 great-grandparents. After only 10 generations, which is roughly 250 to 300 years, a person would theoretically have over 1,000 direct ancestors. This number quickly exceeds the actual population size of colonial America. The result is pedigree collapse. The same individuals appear repeatedly in a family tree through different lines. This means that many ancestors are shared, family trees overlap extensively, and distant cousins become numerically enormous. In the 1600s and 1700s, the white colonial population was relatively small. Settlement was geographically constrained, and marriage occurred overwhelmingly within ethnic, religious, and regional groups. As a result, descendants of early colonial families are now interrelated across the entire white U.S. population. A single colonial ancestor can have hundreds of thousands or even millions of descendants today. This is especially true for families established before 1750. There's an important distinction to make here. Sharing ancestry does not mean close genetic relatedness. Most shared ancestors are very distant, so genetically, you may share little or no detectable DNA with any given distant cousin, but you still share genealogy. In other words, genealogical relatedness expands faster than genetic similarity. By 100 years back, shared ancestry is widespread even if DNA overlap is minimal. This is not unique to white Americans. The same principle applies to African Americans, with shared ancestry shaped by forced migration and population bottlenecks, and any population that has remained relatively endogamous for centuries. The difference for white Americans is that colonial settlement records are well documented, the population expansion was rapid, lineages from early settlers proliferated widely. Throughout American history, white people have married other white people approximately 90% of the time, a pattern that continues today. What I've said today is a mathematical and historical reality, not a cultural or ideological claim. White American is an ethnic group. So why does this matter? Understanding that white Americans constitute an ethnic group is important because it counters misconceptions. It clarifies that white Americans aren't just a default or non-ethnic category, but an actual ethnic group with measurable demographic patterns and genealogical connections. It provides context for American social dynamics, including why certain cultural norms, values, and traditions became widespread among white Americans across different regions. It demonstrates that ethnicity isn't just about recent immigrant identity. It can develop over centuries within a country. This genealogical reality doesn't prescribe any particular political or social conclusions, but it does provide factual grounding for discussions about American ethnic identity and demographics.